All right, shalom, shalom. I'd like to start off first and foremost by giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rachak, Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Peace, love, and salutations to the men out there pushing this word in truth and sincerity. This video is based off of this video here. This lesson is based off of this video here, where it goes into Christopher Columbus Wrongly Villainized. What's the truth? And, first and foremost, this guy here, man, I can't stand this guy. But sometimes he does interviews that actually, that sparks interesting topics, such as this one, to where we can actually go into some of the history and see what really happened according to the scriptures and through secular history. Now, what's really happening is that, the men of GMS and Great Millstone and other men of like-minded doctrine, and even men and women in the world have started to expose this devil and reveal his true history, because history is actually broken down into his story. So his story is written by the winners, the ones who are rulership. Okay. So I'm gonna start off with a quick precept, but first I want to kind of preface this video. What it basically is going into is the history of Cristobal Colon, and of course, just like I did a video not too long ago about how these Edomites are talking about, slavery was great. We treated our slaves awesome. Yeah, we did. We treated them well. We fed them. We gave them shelter. We didn't beat them. We did all the things that a good master would do. Yeah, okay. Then you have this history in the books of things that the slave masters did, like buck breaking, and how they created a conglomeracy where they would go around to buck break different men. And, it was written that a lot of them did this to quench their homosexual tendencies. Okay. You have many other different accounts of history. But you see, Esau doesn't want to be accountable for what he's done. You see, that's the biggest issue, the big issue. Esau doesn't want to be accountable for what he's done. He wants to continue to do the wickedness and evil that he has done under the guise of goodness. All right. So I'm going to start off with this quick precept, something that we bring out all the time. Let's see. So I'm going to go to Habakkuk, the second chapter. And I believe it's the 16th verse, a precept that we bring out all the time, but it's always relevant, especially when you hear things like this. All right. So it says, we start at verse 15. It says, "Woe unto him that give his neighbor drink, that putteth the bottle to him, and maketh him drunken. Also, that thou mayest look on their nakedness." And that's something that these devils done to our people in great volume. They took their philosophies and their doctrines and they force-fed that shit to us. Because that's what it's talking about when it says, "Woe to him that giveth his neighbor drink." It's talking about his philosophies and put the bottle to him. You forced us to partake in your stuff and your evil, right? And now you have, years later, this is what we have, all right? So the Lord said, woe, which means destruction, because you forced, and it's apparent because your actions have not changed from that time. You still force the nations to adopt your philosophies, and if they don't, what do? You go in and you take over their country. You destabilize their stuff. That's what you do. Okay, that's your history. Okay? So it's not my fault that you got a shameful history. Verse 16, it says, "Thou art filled with shame for glory." Now, that's a lot within that one statement. Thou art filled with shame for glory. Your history, your glory is shameful. You have done things that have never been done, except if they were done by you in old times. Same people coming back in the same lot. The wickedness, the level of evil that you Edomites, and level of cruelty that you have partaken in has never been done. You know what I'm saying? We've been put in captivities before in the past, but never as brutal and as evil and as wicked as what you have done. You've taken everything, because, the Lord said there's nothing new under the sun, right? You've taken everything. Everything. You've taken it that was done that was evil and magnified it to the umpteenth power. Okay? Verse 17 is, for thy violence of Lebanon shall cover thee, and the spoiled of beasts which made them afraid, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein. You see that? So because you have committed in these evils, and you have committed these violences, and you have forced men to pick up your philosophies and doctrines, and you've corrupted everything, you're going to be destroyed. And I just did a lesson just a second ago about how, these Sadducees continue to want Esau to be saved, but he has this type of history. Okay, so I'm gonna play this video. It's a very short video. I'm gonna play it, and then I'm gonna grab a couple more precepts, and then we're gonna close out.
But I gotta ask you about Howard Zinn. You debunked Howard Zinn's description about Christopher Columbus. What was his opinion of Christopher Columbus?
Well, he lied about Christopher Columbus. And the reason was because, Christopher Columbus discovered America.
Yeah.
All right, so that's the first lie she told. She lied about somebody lying. How can you discover something that somebody's already living on? There were already people here. How did you discover it when there were already people here? You see, that's the wickedness of these damn devils. And you're going to sit there with a smile on your face and perpetuate this lie like this man discovered it. No, you came over here and you raped, robbed, and pillaged and took the land from the people that were already here. The native Indians that were here. Okay? That's what you did, man. And those people were Israelites. All right?
And he truly was a great man. He had vision.
He was greatly wicked.
He had intelligence. He had courage. He had devotion to God. He had faith. And he was not, and he respected the natives. It was his men, who abused them.
Yeah.
When Columbus was away.
All right, so you man, it was his men, right? Oh, his men abused him when he was away. His men did this, his men did that. Okay, well, let's get some precepts on. Let's get a precept on that, man. These devils are always lying, man. They are always lying. This is Ecclesiasticus 10. Ecclesiasticus 10. Was it Ecclesiastes? Might have been Ecclesiastes. Let me check. I might have wrote down the wrong precept. I was right. It was Ecclesiasticus. I just passed it. Slakiakim. So this is Ecclesiasticus 10 and 2. This is Ecclesiasticus 10 and 1. It says, a wise man will instruct his people, and government of a prudent man is well ordered. Okay? So government of a prudent man is well ordered. You got your people in order. You have your people in order. When you leave, they behave themselves. They don't go off and do bullshit when you're gone. Okay? A wise judge, you know. That's why we say when we talk about the truth, it's not about coming out to the camp, and it's not getting on camera and acting like you the best Israelite in the world. No, it's about what do you do when you're off camera? How do you conduct yourself when you're away? You see? How do you do that? So this says, a wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. You see that? So Columbus was governing his men, and she said that when he left, they went and did whatever the hell they want. Okay. Verse 2, it says, a judge of the people, as the judge of the people himself, so are his officers. So you got a crew, man, you think you got a man that don't take that shit? He's not going to allow you to abuse people, and he's been set as the head over you, and you go and you abuse the people when he gone. What do you think he going to do to you when he get back and he find out? You see, because none of that was so. This bitch is lying, man. What Edom wants to do is try to cover his shame. That's what Edom wants to do. Edom wants to try to cover his shame. Okay? But you can't cover your shame because the Lord is revealing you to the world. And your shame is being revealed through your actions to this day. Your actions to this day is what's making people look into your history to say, oh, he's always been like this. This ain't nothing new. This is just him. Okay? And it says, and so are his officers, and what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. And this is why we have such a perverse society, because those that rule this society are indeed perverse. This is why. You think it's a coincidence? You think you had a wise and prudent king, someone that was just? Do you think the people will be unjust? No. You might have some, just like in this society. Majority of the people are wicked, but you have those select few that are righteous. Okay? You have those select few that are righteous. You see that? It says, an unwise king destroyeth his people. What's going on today? What's happening today right now? The people are being destroyed. Now, you can put into context how many things are coming at the way of the people, and I'm not talking about all people. I'm expressly talking about Israelites. You can put into context what's coming our way, because these devils strike videos for saying anything that they think is revealing to them, revealing of what they're trying to do. So you can put that into any context you want, because it comes from all angles. All right? It just doesn't come from one. It comes from multiple angles, but there's one that's happening right now that's actually a really big deal. It's taking the world by storm, and you know what I'm talking about. If you're in the know, if you're not in the know, then I'm sorry to tell you, you just don't know. All right. Verse 3, it says, "An unwise king destroys his people, but the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited." Like I said, what's happening right now? Because you have unwise rulers that have certain philosophies that they have adopted, and they're enforcing those wicked philosophies on the people, whether or not you want to or not. Okay? If you don't participate in what they're doing, you won't be able to participate in the world. Period. That's what's about to happen. It's happening in other parts of the world. It's going to happen here. All right? We'll go back to this video.
He actually had some of them hanged for abusing the natives. But what Howard Zinn is doing is promoting the communist propaganda, because, so Howard Zinn's not innovative in this. All
right, we're not going to go through the whole video, but I just wanted to point out those couple points, and then I'm going to read this. And then we're going to go ahead and grab one more precept. This is a couple of quotes that was happening. And I read this one. The top one, it really doesn't apply to us right now. But verse 2, This part 2, it says, these natives are so nice. We'd be crazy not to enslave them. This is actually a Columbus quote. They're so nice, we'd be crazy not to enslave them. This excerpt from Columbus' diaries described the awkward people who greeted him and his men. They brought us parrots and balls of cotton and spears and many of them and many other things, which they exchanged for glass beads and hawk's bells. They willingly traded everything they owned. They were well built with good bodies and handsome features. They do not bear arms and do not know them, for I showed them a sword. They took it by the edge and cut themselves out of ignorance. They have no iron. Their spears are made of cane. They would make fine servants. With 50 men we could subjugate them all and make them do whatever we want. Christopher Columbus. Yep. It's mainstream history, but, lied. It's a lie. But they do this same shit to this day to all of the people. Okay? Another one. I was right about how easy the whole subjugation thing would be. As soon as I arrived in the Indies, in the first island which I have found, I took some of the natives by force in order that they might learn and might give information of whatever there is in these parts. And so it was that they soon understood, and we them, either by speech or by signs, and they have been very serviceable. So you go in, freaking beat these people, you know what I'm saying? Give them a couple of cues, point a couple fingers and say, go do that, and they go do that. Columbus was such a menschik, if I said that correctly. He would let his men do whatever they wanted with the natives. They captured one of his men, of a childhood friend of Columbus. Michel Cano describes in a letter how he raped native women. And this shit right here, like, man, just reading this stuff make you want to do something to these people, man. It says, while I was in a boat, I captured a very beautiful Carib woman, whom the said Lord Admiral gave to me. When I had taken her to my cabin, she was naked, as was their custom. I was filled with the desire to take my pleasure with her, and attempted to satisfy my desire. She was unwilling, so treated me with her nails that I wished I had never begun. But to cut a long story short, I then took a piece of a rope and whipped her soundly, and she let forth such incredible screams that you would not have believed your ears. Eventually, we came to terms, and I assure you that you would have thought that she been brought up in a school for whores. So he beat this woman so senseless. He beat her ass so bad that she was screwing him like she was a whore. And his history isn't skewed. His history, this man, it was his men that did that. Just by her saying that, you can tell that it was him. You know? Now you can continue on, because I started. You know what? I'm gonna read this one too, because this one right here, really, man. So not so Christian, but the anecdote captured above was not some isolated incident of cruelty. Ironically, but in no way surprisingly, the Spanish who came to save the heathens from their adultery weren't very Christian-like in behavior. In his book, The Devastation of the Indies, Bartholomew de las Casas, the priest who accompanied Columbus on his conquest of Cuba, detailed the abuse and murder of the native population. endless testimonies prove the mild and pacific temperament of the natives, but our work was to exasperate, revenge, kill, mangle, and destroy. And the Christians, with their horses and swords and pikes, began to carry out massacres and strange cruelties against them. They attacked towns, but these people were savages, but they had towns. They would attack towns and separate and spare neither children, nor the aged, nor the pregnant women, nor women in childbed, not only stabbing them and dismembering them, but cutting them into pieces as if dealing with sheep in a slaughterhouse. They laid bets as who with one stroke of a sword could split a man into two, or cut off his head, or split out his entrails with a single stroke of a pike. They took infants from mothers' breasts, snatching them by the legs and pitching them head first against the crags, or snatched them by the arms and threw them into the rivers. You know what? I got to grab a quick precept, man. Real quick, a quick precept. Man, I just want to grab this quick precept because you know this is what they did to us, and what we can't get our get back. We can't get our get back, but this is what this man did to us. This is Psalms 137. Now look. Oh, but we're not supposed to hate Edom. But all throughout the scriptures, the Lord is talking about how Edom did us dirty. But we're not supposed to hate these devils. Okay? We're not supposed to have disdain against them. That's how we know y'all bought and paid for it, because the scriptures go over and over and over again about the beef that the Lord has with Edom, especially Edom. This is Psalms 137 and 6. It says, 137 and 7. It says, remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation of our own. And that means basically, tear it down, get rid of it all, destroy it all. They was chanting us on when we were falling. Okay? So the Israelite, this scripture is saying, okay, when you raise us back into power, O Lord, please don't forget about what they did to us. Okay? Then it says, verse 37 and 8, it says, O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, a.k.a. America, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. So yeah, you got to get your reward, man. You got good rewards and you got bad rewards. Okay? Happy shall they be that rewardeth thee as thou hast rewarded us. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones. Now, this is how you know the Lord, that the scriptures are undefeated and that the Lord sees everything. Because this right here is in direct conjunction with this right here. When he said they took infants from their mother's breast, snatching them by the legs and pitching them head first against the crags, or snatching them by the arms and throw them into the rivers, roaring with laughter, saying, as the babies fell into the water, boil there, you offspring of the devil. You see that? So they did these acts. They dashed our little ones' heads against the stones. They did that. They do it to this day. So what? We don't have, we can't get a recompense on what these people have done, and they have history of it. This is their history of what they did to our people all over the globe. Anywhere. They took the so-called Negroes out of Africa. They came over here to the Americas. You know what I'm saying? They, the tribe of Reuben, the tribe of Gad. You know what I'm saying? All these different tribes. You know, they did the same thing to the tribe of Levi. You know, they did the same thing to the tribe of Benjamin. You know, every tribe that they've come in contact, they did this wickedness too. But moreover, on the children of Judah than anybody else. But they did it to every tribe. Every single last one of us, they did this thing too. And yet I'm just having trouble comprehending that his history is lied about. That the lie that was told is a lie. Is not a lie. So what I mean by that is the history that was told about Cristobal Colon that we found to be a lie through secular history and through the scriptures. You're telling me that that's not a lie? That that's the truth? No, you're lying about the lie. You're lying saying that the lie is the truth when the lie is really a lie because you're ashamed of your history. All right? And it says, other infants they put to the sword along with their mother and anyone else who happened to be nearby. They made some low, wide gallows on which they hung victims' feet, almost touched them to the ground, stringing up their victims in lots of 13 in memory of our Redeemer, his 12 apostles. Then set burning wood at their feet and thus burned them alive. I don't even want to read no more of this shit, man. You know what I'm saying? How disgusting these devils are. And how you think that you don't have to pay for the wickedness that you've done. You can just cover up your history with a couple of choice words and talk about how, oh yeah, we never did that. That's a lie. And then everybody, and you know what really trips me out too is why do our people continue to go to our enemy for the answers? You know, you already know their history. You can know their past by what they're doing in their present. But you continue to go to our enemies to get answers for what's happening to you. That's why I can't wait for the Lord to destroy this place, man. You know, and I'm tired of that. You don't want to go to the men of your own people that actually may have the answers that can teach you these things. You want to go to the enemy to get the answers and interview that. I'm going to grab one more precept and close out on this. This is Micah 2 in verse 1. It says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work an evil upon their bed. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. Esau was given the power of the sword. You know, he explained that the natives were peaceful. They came offering them stuff. They didn't even know what a sword was. They cut themselves with the sword. Like, what is this? Because they grabbed the blade wrong. They were peaceful people. And you said with 50 men, we can subdue them all. This was in your mind. Okay? Verse 2, it says, they covet fields and take them by violence. Your history, scriptures are undefeated. You took them by violence. And houses and take them away so that a man, so they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. You took away the heritage of the Israelites. You took away the heritage from the so-called native Indians. You took away the heritage of the West Indies. You took away the heritage of the Dominicans. You gave them names that aren't theirs. You know, you took away the heritage of the Puerto Ricans. You took away the heritage of the Negroes, because that's what you call them. You're not calling them Judah. You're not calling them Simeon. You're not calling them Benjamin. You know, you're not calling them by the biblical names that the Lord had assigned for them. You're not calling them that. You're calling them the names that you assigned to them. So he don't even have a heritage. You know? Therefore, verse 3, therefore, thus saith Yahweh, behold, I am against this family, do I devise this evil. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, behold, against this family do I devise this evil. What family? The family that's in rulership that created all this shit. Esau, Edom, and his people. For which ye shall not remove your necks, neither shall you go haughty, for this time is evil. You see that? So this time is evil for you Edomites, man. It's not going to be pretty. You thought that what you put us through was horrible. Oh, man, wait till we get our turn. Wait till we get our turn, because what we do, it's going to be new. We're going to have spiritual powers. The Lord going to dwell with us. We're no longer going to be under the sun, so to speak, like we are today. We're going to be under Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, and they're going to walk with us. Which means that in that day, and this is me speaking as a man, new things can happen. And when I say new things, I mean, yeah, new things, but they're going to happen to you in a very bad way. The other new stuff is going to be good for the nation of Israel, like the building of the kingdom of heaven, the golden streets, the golden roads, the castles made out of precious jewels, crowns on our heads, spiritual powers, perfect bodies, having access to all of the rest of the Lord's creations. All those things going to be new. But only Israel going to experience that. All right. Verse 4 says, "In that day shall one take up a parable against you, and a lament with a doleful lamentation, and say, We be utterly spoiled. He hath changed the portion of my people. How he hath removed it from me, turning away. He has divided our fields." And that pretty much, that didn't really have, that was pretty much it on that. You know what I'm saying? But the Lord is going to take up a doleful lamentation against you, man. He already has it. Edom, your days are numbered. And the lands that you stole, he's going to take them back from you. Okay? You changed the portion of the Lord's people, man. You took what was given to him and you divided the land for yourself. You know, how he hath removed it from me, turning away, he hath divided our fields. You see that? So you took away what was not yours and gave it to yourself. Okay? So, you know, with that was pretty much it. I pray this was an edifying lesson. I'm going to go ahead and end it off by giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakar Kodash. Double honor to the elders and the apostles of great millstone who rule and teach well. Peace, love, salutations to those men that are pushing his word and truth and sincerity. Until the next time, Akim. Shalom.